Static, episode 86. Hopefully you're having an incredible day today, whatever day you are watching or listening to this podcast. My name is Alex Light with Sparky3. I got both the boys here with me, as always. Zach, John, how you boys feeling this wonderful Saturday?
Doing good. Can't complain. Nice and warm. Not snowed in.
It is very nice and warm, yeah. Possible, not possible. Thunderstorms coming soon. Got that going on. It'll be here in a couple hours.
We're supposed to be here like 2 hours ago.
It'll be here in a couple hours. John, how are you feeling today? I know you're just wanting to get back to Lost Ark right now.
I don't necessarily need to get back to it right now.
Little upset about the healing thing?
What?
Little upset about the healing thing with the grind that you were talking about? Wish you would have grinded more or whatever?
Well, it would have been nice to be vaulting ready this week. But it is what it is. It'll be there in a week or two when I can actually get there.
The grind never stops. This man literally just jumps between Rocket League and Lost Ark, and it was funny. I called you earlier, whatever, to chat with you about the script stuff.
Yeah, I was in a game of Rocket League.
I know. As soon as he did not answer, my first instinct was, let's go hop over on Steam real quick. He's in Rocket League. That makes sense. It's like, all right, that makes sense.
I called you back when the match ended.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. All right, so for today's episode, we'll be chatting about the PlayStation Plus revamp game list. We did get the first initial batch of games that's going to be coming out for it. We knew this was coming soon because I think the first wave of this rebrand starts like next week for other countries. It didn't come to us till mid-June. So we did get the first wave there. We're going to chat about that. We're going to chat about Konami remembering they own Silent Hill. We won't spend a shit ton of time on that because we should have chatted about that last week, but we missed it because that news apparently came out like late Friday of last week. We'll still chat about it here today. And then there was some news that popped out yesterday. Apparently EA was almost about to merge with another company, and so they're possibly looking for a purchase. A couple other little tidbits of information as well that we'll be chatting about. Then we'll have our weekly wrap-up that we're going to have at the end of the show, introducing that here today. Going to keep that moving forward. If you could, go check us out on our website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up for $5 a month. Get early access podcast episodes, sparky3shop.com. We do have a promo code right now, ANNIV, for 25% off to celebrate 2 years of everything Sparky 3. And lastly, go follow us over at Twitter, @GameStaticPod. We definitely appreciate that follow so you can stay up to date. Well, if you can stay up to date not only with our show, but pretty much everything in the gaming industry, because I do a really decent job like retweeting everything that kind of pops out.
Yeah,
So it's a good central source for everything gaming. All right, well, with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into stuff, boys. All right, so let's chat about this PlayStation Plus revamp. Let me just pull up the article because I was not about to type all this. I started and I said, nah, let's not. All right, so of course, we've got the essential, extra, and premium tier, which the premium they're labeling is two different things on the article. It's like premium or deluxe. It's like they can't make up their mind on which one it's going to be. I don't know. But so the essential is basically what you already have now. If you got PlayStation Plus now, that's what the essential plus, the essential tier is, right? It's just going to be, you get your couple free monthly games that pops out. You'll get discounts. That's about it. Nothing more. Now the extra tier is where you start getting like the large catalog of games, which is pulling a lot from, of course, what PlayStation Now already had, as well as adding some others. I won't run through this entire list, but I will run through some pretty notable ones. Bloodborne being on there, Concrete Genie, Days Gone, Death Stranding, and Death Stranding Director's Cut. Keep in mind, those are two different games because it's for consoles. I think Director's Cut is only on the PlayStation 5, if I remember correctly. Demon Souls, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous First Light and Second Son, Little Big Planet 3, both the Spider-Man games, let's see, Returnal, Shadow of Colossus, The Last Guardian, Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Left Behind, Until Dawn, Uncharted Drake Collection, Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy, and that's all, of course, from the PlayStation Studios. And then looking at the third-party partners, we have like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste, City Skylines, Control Ultimate Edition, Far Cry 3 Remaster, Far Cry 4. No Far Cry 5 or 6, though. For Honors on there, Final Fantasy 15, Hollow Knight, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mortal Kombat 11, NBA 2K22, Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, good one there. Resident Evil, that's just the remake, right?
Just Resident Evil, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Soul Calibur, and then The Division. Then again, these are just notable ones. I mean, there are some others on there. With this whole deal going on, it's the Ubisoft Plus is essentially being added. That's why you heard like the Valhalla. You heard the couple of Far Cries and stuff. Which again, if we're gonna be adding in Valhalla, and the Ubisoft Plus is going to be on there, I was kind of confused. Like, why isn't Far Cry 6 on there, Or maybe even just Far Cry 5 or even Until Dawn or Primal, Just granted, they picked out 2 of the best Far Cries, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, I thought that was kind of strange. But Ubisoft Plus being kind of included in there, similar to the EA Play being included with Game Pass, I think is a pretty good deal. And then lastly, the premium tier, which this is the one that we were very, very curious about, as everyone was, because this is the one that was supposed to have all the classic games. Yeah. Kind of a shorter list than I thought. That was going to kind of kick things off, per se. So just some that's on here is like Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligence, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, couple Worms games. Then we have like some remasters here, like Ape Escape 2, Dark Cloud 2, all the Jack games. So that's pretty cool. Jack's been kind of dead for a while. Wild Arms 3, BioShock Remastered's on there, Borderlands Collection, Lego Harry Potter Collection, Kings of Amalur. Then we also have some PS3 games that have, of course, available via streaming, like the original Demon Souls, Infamous 1 and 2, the Ratchet and Clank games from the PlayStation 3, but none of the ones from the like PS2 or anything like that. Fear's on there, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, but I thought that was funny they included that specifically, but not the first Red Dead. I thought that was kind of interesting.
It was weird. For whatever reason, a lot of people played Undead Nightmare over just Red Dead.
And then also I saw this on here and I immediately thought of you, one of your top 50 games to play, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. I saw that on there.
I mean, it's a good game.
Yeah, shout out to that. Devil May Cry collection. So I mean, again, that's just kind of like the notable stuff. They do have a breakdown with the time limited game trials as well, which is only available for the premium tier. The only things that's on here at the moment is like the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk, WWE 2K22, Tiny Tina Wonderlands, and Farming Simulator 22. They go in more detail that games are going to be added regularly and stuff like that. And like I said already, Ubisoft Plus is kind of included in this. So with this list of games, boys, what's your initial knee-jerk reaction to this? Like, what's your initial thoughts when this kind of came out?
Do you want to add on there, though, before we move on, is that launch for this is for, as it says, May 24th for Asia in general.
Right.
Japan for June 2nd. North and South America, June 13th. Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, June 23rd.
Okay, thank you. So what is you guys' initial thoughts? And one thing that I was curious about, because I kept thinking about this, and it was something that you said, John, when we last chat about this, where it's like initially, like when this whole revamp was kind of like leading up, where it was still Project Spartacus, like neither of you guys had like a ton of interest in it. But I remember, John, you were saying it's like, now you're getting kind of curious and it's going to come down to what it is. And like me and you were kind of in the same boat on that. But now I'm curious if you and I are in the same boat where you're just like, I don't really give a shit about the premium tier right now.
Well, I said initially I didn't have, I had no interest in moving up. And I was like, well, I guess it'll depend on the game list.
Yeah.
Eventually when it comes out. And yeah, at this point I could say I have no interest in it.
See, that's how I feel. Like, I will say, I think the extra tier would be the way to go. Like, if there's any form of interest in, like, maybe if there's some games on that extra list that you'd want to play, I feel like right now at launch, extra tier has the best value, like by far. Premium just doesn't really have it. I will also say this. I did see this the other day that I saw at least one of the games did confirm that it was going to have trophy support, like the classics.
Okay.
So that would lead to believe that I think everything else will also have trophy support. So, Zach, what about you? What's your kind of initial thoughts on this? Just like, don't give a fuck? Because like I'm kind of in the don't give a fuck realm. There are some games in the extra tier. It's like, I would like to play that and not have to, buy the game itself. But that's kind of where I sit on it.
I mean, I'm in the unique position where I have on the old consoles, and I at least have areas where I know I can pick one of these up, if not all of them, if I need to. And any of the games that piqued my interest on that list of how to go, I might get premium just to play that. I own.
Right.
Now, I mean, I don't even have a PlayStation Plus membership now, so I really don't care.
Right. See, it's one of those things where it's like, I will say, when this comes out, there's a decent chance that I'm probably going to get the premium tier because there are things that I want to be able to test out to talk about for the show. Because the main thing is I do want to test out the streaming for the PS3 because obviously that's been such a hot topic.
That's going to be the big thing, just because the streaming, at least with PS Now back on PS3 and PS4, the streaming's
terrible.
Awful.
Yeah. So like I may take one for the team and just go ahead and get the premium, but I don't have interest in it, But I do really want to try out the streaming and see how it is, so I can talk about it here on the show. And there are some games that I'd probably play from the PS3 catalog, but like it's like I will also say, looking at the catalog, I was really disappointed from the lack of PSP support that we thought was going to be. There was one PSP game, I think.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like that was disappointing, man. PSP is great. It's got a lot of good shit on there.
I mean, the one thing I would be real curious to hear about you if you are going to get that premium is how the time trial works for being able to time games. Because it says you get about 2 hours worth of game time when you're actually in game. But does that qualify as actually in the main game itself? Or can you accidentally screw yourself if you start a game and get stuck at the title screen but have to walk off somewhere?
See, that's a good question. That was a question that was talked about quite a bit when that was announced, because a lot of people were asking, was Sony or even the developers of games, were they going to have to make like special demos for this and put on, you know what I mean? Because there are some games where it's like you really don't get into the game maybe. Yeah. So like that was a hot question that was coming out when this happened.
For some games, like you'll spend the first 2 hours mostly in cutscenes and maybe get to play 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So you may not get a feel for it.
Yeah, I'll hop into one. You know what I'll do? What I'll do for the time trials is I'll hop into one of the games that I haven't played, whatever, so I can kind of get a vibe for that. And then I'll also do the time trial for Horizon, since I have played that, so I can tell you personally how much it differs from the actual game, or if it's the exact same.
Because based on the games they have initially for that time trial, the ones I'd be mostly worried about initially would be Uncharted.
Yeah, the Lost Legacy of Thieves, whatever.
Yes. Because that's the one with the 3 original games, or is that the 4th game? I forget.
That's like the spinoff, isn't it?
Is it the spinoff? Well,
Legacy of Thieves? Let me look.
I don't remember. I never played the whole Uncharted series. And then Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Because I know some Borderlands tend to get bogged down a little with initial cutscenes, which if you don't care about it, you can usually skip, but they can get a bit bogged down with you walking around and cutscenes before you actually get into the main bulk of the game.
Legacy of Thieves collection is Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy Remastered.
That's so it's 4 in the spinoff. Okay.
Yeah.
And which 4 I think actually does have a fair bit of opening scenes and whatnot for setting up for the story. So I'd be slightly curious about that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that out. Because like I said, I probably will bite the bullet on this and go ahead and try it. Just because I am very curious about how some of these are, and I want to see it firsthand. So if like the time trials, I'll do Horizon for sure, and I'll do Cyberpunk since I know how those start, and I'll see how different they are. And then I'll jump in like Uncharted to kind of fulfill your curiosity there. But I will say this, like, if anyone's wanting to get like a PlayStation 5 here soon, like, you don't have like a large, maybe you didn't play like a lot of PS4 or whatever, getting this and getting the extra tier has stupid good value. Like, I mean, legit, it does. Like our friend Josh, for example, he had a PS5 a few months back.
Yeah.
He missed an entire generation of gaming with the Xbox One and the PS4. So it's like, I told him up front, it's like, yo, like the extra tier is like for you. Because like there's so much value there. Because I mean, he doesn't have many games to begin with, and that's where the value's gonna. That's where the value's gonna come in, is for gamers like that. I will say one thing I'm very curious about is what the hell are they gonna do? Because I don't know if I missed it. I don't know if it's in this article. But what the hell are they gonna do with that PS Plus collection? Is it just gonna stay there, or is this gonna kind of get merged into stuff? Because the PS Plus collection was something they launched at the start of the PS5. Just if you had PlayStation Plus, you could have access to all these games, and it was also because of that they didn't have a lot of games at launch, so this was their way to give you more.
I would assume it would still just be part of it as
for like the essential tier.
As far as I'm concerned, based on seeing as you said, as long as you have PS Plus,
you had it, yeah.
And from everything they've said, if you have PS Plus, anything along with that just becomes PS Essential.
Right. See, I would assume that it would remain. It's just I know some of the games on there is like what's in the extra tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I'd be kind of curious. Like, are they just going to scrap this, or because I mean, all it really is like just a nice little uniform collection of a lot of games they've released a monthly over a period of time. Like that's all it is.
Well, I mean, at least in my mind, the which people may get salty about it. I mean, based on how they're putting that the games you're saying are overlapping that are in the extra tier, they may just switch that to a library of extra, but keep the rest of the catalog there.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, they probably won't change it. If anything, they'll do what Zach said and kind of just move them over to the extra tier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that catalog is mostly, I mean, that's for the PS5, right?
The catalog that I broke down.
Yeah. Or no, like the
PS Plus catalog.
PS Plus catalog you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's PlayStation 5 only.
Yeah, because I mean, if they move that to like the extra tier, the only people that's really affecting are the PS5 owners. Because if you're already getting the extra tier, you're not going to notice it.
Yeah.
And two, like people that are still on PlayStation 4s aren't going to notice it either.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioning that like the extra tier is probably like the way to go, the best bang for your buck. I mean, that may be true, but at the same time, I'm probably going to just stick with the essential tier.
Right.
And then like if I get into a mode where I'm like, there's a few of these games I want to try out for the month, just upgrade for the month and then play them then.
Which is probably a pretty good play as well. Or just like pick up a membership at Black Friday time because they always go on sale anyway. You know, that's when I always get mine personally.
Think they're going to have cards out for all the different tiers?
That's a great question, actually. I don't know.
Initially, I would say they would almost have to, but
right.
It's like that's going to get confusing in store for
will.
people that are just picking it up for like their kid or something if they're not there or if they want to get it. It's like they're not going to know the average person who just walks in and doesn't pay attention to the subscriptions, they're not going to know the difference between essential versus premium or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, essential, extra, and premium. Because, I mean, right now they have the different they did have the different cards of like 1 month, 3 month, and year.
Yeah.
So I assume it would be, if they do the cards, it'd be the same thing price point wise. It would just be the essential, extra, and premium.
That'd be a lot of cards.
Yeah, because
before they had 6 cards on the shelf. They had the 3 for PlayStation Now that they discontinued and pulled those end of last year.
Yeah.
And now they still have 3 different cards on the shelf for PlayStation Plus. So I imagine those will probably start coming down soon at stores, if I had to take a guess. But that'd be a lot of cards now that you mention it. That would be a lot of cards to have on the shelf. Holy shit.
So it would make me almost curious if they would just have a standardized thing of a card is just this many months for just a standard tier. But I mean, if they really feel like it, I could definitely see them having freaking 9 cards for different lengths of times for each freaking edition.
That's ridiculous.
Who knows? Maybe they'll just put select cards in certain stores.
That's also a good point. They could maybe, because I mean, honestly, I feel like the one for sure that will be in stores is going to be that year membership.
Yeah.
Because they're going to really try to push you to commit to a year. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the one that will for sure be in stores. But maybe after that, maybe just like a 1 month. And if you want to opt for the 3 month, you can just do that on your system. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I will say, like, as time goes on, I genuinely believe that premium tier is going to have an insane value, but it's just going to take time.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I like to look back at the Nintendo Switch Premium. It's starting to look really nice nowadays.
It is.
Yeah. Well, part of what I was thinking with it is kind of along the lines of your thought process of I'm looking forward to 6 months or a year from now when that catalog looks more of what we thought it might look like. Because, like you said, there was like one PSP game on there.
Only one,
Yeah.
which that's so upsetting.
So it'll be interesting to see how much it grows in the next year.
Speaking of the N64,
They just released Kirby Star Allies.
yeah, there was one more game they announced back initially that hasn't come out yet. Do we remember what that last one is?
Nope.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, because I just saw that they released an N64 Kirby game on that the other day, and I was like, that's a fun game.
I don't know what the last game is. I'm going to have to do some digging. Let's see. Oh, Pokemon Snap. Who gives a fuck?
All the people who bought Pokemon Snap knew.
You know, Pokemon Snap's like the more and more I thought about it, because I was just like, do I want to pick that up for my collection, whatever.
No.
And I'm just like, yeah, I have some nostalgia for it, but now the more I think about it, the more I just realize that game fucking sucks. I mean, I'll say the hot take here. That game fucking sucks. Like, it's not that great of a game.
I don't see why people like it so much.
I mean, it was literally a cash grab thing of kids being like, oh, I can see all these Pokemon that I never catch in my game, and
Right?
and now we're older and go, why the hell? But Nintendo got away with it again.
I know.
With new Pokemon Snap.
No, we say why the hell. Everyone else goes, ooh, picture a Pokemon.
But I will say this. New Pokemon Snap is the most beautiful Pokemon game that's ever come out. Like, that is that game, the graphics is unbelievable. Like, for a Pokemon game.
Look at what it's up against. It ain't got a lot of competition.
Hey, don't.
He's got you there.
I mean, that's true. Sword and Shield was, had N64 trees, but, besides that, it wasn't that bad. Legends Arceus, it's better. It doesn't have 64 trees, so that's cool.
I mean, it's better close up.
Yeah, that's fucking true.
You can't look at anything more than about 30 feet in front of you.
That's true. No, new Pokemon Snap does look great, but you're right. The competition is not very stiff, but it still is a very beautiful game. But no, the value for this thing, I think, will just increase over time, and that's what I'll be looking forward to. Is what number one, like, what else is going to kind of start to come? What are they going to kind of dig into? How often is it going to be coming out? Can we expect like monthly titles, kind of like what Nintendo was doing?
Well, it says in that article that they're plan on doing a rotation change every first Tuesday of a month.
That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Similar to what they do now with PS Plus.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yep. And actually, yeah, now that you mention that is what they were talking about for like actual batches of games coming out for the extra and premium, right? Okay. The premium tier is going to be the big question mark. Is how often are we going to see batches of old games coming in? Is it going to be that every Tuesday? Because, I mean, like, for the extra tier, that's pretty easy, I feel like, to just kind of bring in, like, some PS5 games that's been out for a bit, or, some PS4 games, whatever. But that premium tier is where it's going to be, like, the big question mark. Is it, like, how many games are going to come out, like, every month, and, how quickly are we going to kind of continue to build this catalog, especially, like PSP titles and stuff like that. PS2 titles. Did we even have any like PS2 titles on here?
Rogue Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Actually, several. I could probably name them off for you.
Okay.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da.
Let's see if I can spot it as well. Yeah. Okay. So out of these classics, I don't know which one of these are PlayStation 1 or original PlayStation.
So PS2 would be Jak 2, Jak 3, Jak X,
Yeah.
Jak and Dexter, Rogue Galaxy, Siren, Wild Arms 3, Hotshot Tennis. Bulletstorm came out 360 PS3, Amalur 360 PS3. I mean, out of those classics, yeah, those are all the. And Ape Escape 2 was. That one was PS2. Arc the Lad. So actually, that whole list under PlayStation 2 was PS2. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, well, like I said, as of now, bang for your buck is extra tier. As time goes on, we'll see if the premium can kind of hold its own. And like I said, I'll go ahead and honestly, I'll probably just go ahead and get the premium tier next month, just to see how it is. Because I am very curious about the PS3 streaming. Now that you talked about it more, I am very curious of the time trials. So I'll get it next month. I'll chat about it on the show. We'll see how it goes. See if it's going to be worth your time right now or not. Based on catalog, I say no, but we'll see. All right, moving on from there, let's hit up the next topic we got lined up. Apparently Konami remembered they had Silent Hill. Konami remembered they have a game. Congratulations to them, because Konami pretty much they have fun with their slot machines. whatever they do over in Japan, like they just
Mobile games and that, yeah.
Yeah, that's all they do, which is so sad, because like they have such a deep catalog of games that they just do nothing with, and everyone just begs for Konami to just be purchased or just to sell off the IPs, to someone else. Just so
Hope
it's just
they
like,
make enough money off their mobile games.
I
and
know.
slot machines.
Yeah, just put it on the phone.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably what they did.
Yep, and then fucking making money. But last Friday, before we recorded the last episode, there was some images leaked for a brand new Silent Hill, which this would be the first one since I think 2014 2013 maybe, and
That sounds right.
I don't even think that was like a brand. Well, actually, no, that was right, because the 2014, the last one I'm thinking of was just PT, the legendary PT. Bro, have you guys seen the prices for PlayStation 3 consoles online that have PT installed on it?
Probably insane.
Oh my god, dude!
Because I remember as soon as that game got canceled and people found out it was removed, prices shot up immediately.
Yeah, if you've got a PlayStation 3 that's got the PT demo on it, that PlayStation 3 is worth a lot of money, which is
For
insane.
whatever reason.
People love PT. I've actually sat down and watched a playthrough of someone going through the PT demo. That shit is pretty horrifying.
I mean, the PT demo is its own game in itself, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
That's just natural Hideo Kojima doing his shit, though.
That's fucking true. Well, with the new images, apparently they were copyright struck down, which obviously leads to believe that okay, that's always a surefire sign that that's legit. Apparently, it's going to be set in like the UK as well. There's no word on any sort of time frame on when it's going to be announced. Potentially next month, actually. As I've seen some insiders that we like to follow here, like Nate the Hate is one that's talked about this. Jeff Grubb was another one that apparently Konami was actually going to reveal this last year at E3, and they pulled the plug for whatever reason the last minute. I don't know what show it was going to be a part of, maybe like just Summer Game Fest, I don't know, but they pulled the plug on it, so maybe this E3 will get this announcement. But with all of this Silent Hill stuff going down, apparently the Silent Hill 2 remake is also being done by Bloober Team, which have done The Medium and Blair Witch. The CEO of Bloober Team actually kind of commented on this, and his comment was like kind of like a telling comment that it's kind of true, because like usually when we hear like these rumors that, oh, this studio's doing this person's doing this, they're really good at like I haven't been approached, I haven't been talked about, you know what I mean? Like, they're very good at like very handling their business. This guy, all he said was, I cannot comment on the reports. I'm like, all right, so that kind of gives us the answer. All right, that's cool. And he's like, we'll make an announcement on our future project as soon as we can. I'm like, all right, yeah, so you're pretty much kind of confirming this.
I don't know how that developer does. I mean, I know Medium was well received. How was Blair Witch? I remember it coming out.
That was like, what, 4 years ago, maybe? And I thought it was received okay. Not like the level of the Medium, but I thought it was received all right.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because I think it came out right before Rona.
Yeah, I think you're right. Apparently, they're also going to have some Silent Hill spin-off games. It's going to focus on side stories. Apparently, that's also in development. I don't know if it's going to be by Bloober Team or not, but I sent this over to Diaz, and he was immensely pumped up because I initially sent it to him like, are you ready for a new Silent Hill? And he's just like, what? I'm like, I wouldn't bring you this information if I didn't think it was true. I didn't want to get your hype. I didn't want to get you super hyped for this if it was going to be false. I will say, out of all of this, new Silent Hill, it's obviously a big deal for Silent Hill fans, with how long that's been dead, plus with how the PT thing kind of really got people super pumped for that potential of it.
Yeah.
But the Silent Hill 2 remake, I think, is a big win for the fandom, because Silent Hill 2 is like heralded as like the best Silent Hill out there.
It's mixed.
Yeah, it's back and forth. I know Diaz has talked about it's one of his favorite games of all time.
I know Silent Hill 2, depending on who you talk to and when they started the Silent Hill, it's usually 2 or 3 I usually hear about.
So just quick update on the Blair Witch. It looks like it has 65 Metacritic, but an IGN rating of 8.8.
Okay.
All right.
And then the user reviews on it are about 4 out of 5.
Okay, so it did pretty well. See, the only thing that I've kind of seen online about with Bloober Team handling the Silent Hill 2 remake is like, while the Medium was received pretty well, apparently like there was some clunkiness to it, and there was like some kind of like some bugginess to the game as well, and it kind of got people a little concerned about it, because like that seems to be like kind of their track history is how they handle that. But I mean, it's good to see that Konami actually remembered they have an IP and making actual games for it, not just, slot machines. Because that's pretty much the most of what they do. I mean, they do mobile games, but those slot machines is their bread and butter.
I mean, whenever they let Kojima go, the company specifically said that they were going to lean away from doing games and do their own thing.
Well, glad they're coming back into the mix. Now the question is, they're going to come back into the mix with like Metal Gear or something.
Probably not.
Nope.
Man, I mean, I'm not a Metal Gear fan, but like that's a franchise that if you're going to bring Silent Hill back into the mix, I feel like you got to bring Metal Gear back into the mix as well at some point, at least in my opinion. But I mean, like I said, it's good to see Silent Hill's on its way back. I mean, I think this is good for the industry. I think that's good for fans across the board. you boys have any thoughts on this on this potentially happening? I know none of us are massive Silent Hill fans. I just wanted to definitely chat about it just a little bit, but we didn't have to dive too much into it.
I mean, for the people that are big on Silent Hill, I mean, looks like the future's looking a little bit better for you right now.
For once.
I was about to say, if I'm going to play a horror game, it has to be Fatal Frame.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You've talked about Fatal Frame quite a bit.
If I got to fight spirits, I'd rather kill them with pictures.
Wasn't there a new Fatal Frame that just came out recently?
It was a remake. Or
Okay.
remaster.
Yeah, because it came out to the Switch, didn't it? Okay, that's right. Yeah. It was in a direct. I remember that. Speaking of Switch, got another trailer for Fire Emblem Three Hopes. This time over your Black Eagles. John, how you feeling about the appearance of your squad? You feeling good about it?
Did you watch it?
Why you gotta ask that?
I sent it to you. Come on, man.
Why you gotta ask the question that's gonna make him upset?
I sent this to you.
Because
You send
John,
me a lot of stuff.
Because John, he asked expecting
Oh
you
my
to have
God.
watched it. I asked knowing we need the important question. 'Cause
I
he's
was
gonna-
hoping that he actually watched it.
He sent it to me.
I put him on the spot just now, hoping.
I saw that you had sent it as like the Black Eagle spotlight, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. And then I moved on,
Yes.
like I do most things that you send me.
Oh my god! I even mentioned it earlier when we talked on the phone.
Yeah, we noticed we didn't talk about it very long.
See,
I did just say it in passing. Yeah.
you asked the question that you were hoping for,
I
expecting
know.
things. I saw the look in his eyes like, I can bullshit.
You asked the question, and Zach is over there going, of course he didn't watch it.
Did you watch? You watch the first one?
I
though,
watched
did-
the first one.
Okay. Well, see, that's why I was giving.
I figured it would probably be more of the same with different characters.
I mean,
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
but
what I assumed it was. I didn't-
Since it was your squad, I was hoping. I threw out a prayer that he was actually going to watch it. It was all right though.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks decent from the last video that I watched on it.
I mean, it's a Koei game, so I got to
Yeah.
pick it up.
It's like it looked decent. It's kind of what I expected to see when I watched the gameplay, the first gameplay you sent to me of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is nice to get the confirmation that pretty much everyone is playable.
What the hell class is Petra?
Yo, I was wondering that too.
They showed Petra and I went, there ain't a rogue and backstabbing shit. What is this bullshit?
Yeah, I
I was
thought
like,
the same
was
thing.
there a special class I missed?
Are you talking about in Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Just assassin.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is like a small portion where it is assassin.
Is there? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's the advanced class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it for Petra, at least in my opinion, using her on 3 different runs, I personally think like just leaving her at an assassin advanced class, I actually think that's the best thing for her. Because like it's one of those things like I was telling Christina this whenever she was like getting hard into it, is like there are some characters that you really don't have to push to get to a master class. Like some characters are better off as an advanced class. And in my opinion, she's one of those characters. She's better off as an assassin, in my opinion. She can be a dragon rider, that master class, and she can do all right. But I think the assassin's the best because I mean it's the same thing with like if you're doing blue lines like to do like don't make yourself suffer and try to make them into the Great Knight, whatever, in the master class where he's on a horse. Just leave him at Fortress Knight at advanced, and he's gonna be fucking fine.
Everybody needs to be master.
I don't waste my time with that. I did my first 2 runs, and that's when I learned that okay, maybe this doesn't have to happen for everyone.
See, I always decided after my first run, I'd be like, I'm going to do something weird.
like how I saw those videos of the Dark Mage Leone. I'm like, oh my god. What was the weirdest one you did again? You told me, I think one. I don't remember what it was.
It was a Hilda as a white mage.
God, that makes me so mad.
I made Hubert fuck, I forget what the master class, but infantry swordsman. I forget what they're called.
Mortal Savant.
Yeah.
You made Hubert
Yes. It took fucking forever, but I did it.
That's weird. That's very weird.
It's when you go up against Hubert, it's like, oh, he's going to cast magic. Why is there a sword in me?
Designs for the characters look good though.
Yeah.
I thought Petra's. I wasn't a huge fan of whatever she was wearing, but other than that, the characters look good. I liked Bernadetta's new design. I like that one quite a bit. You were to say something before I accidentally interrupted you. I apologize.
I mean, personally, I like Petra's the most. It was the most striking versus everyone.
It was. I will agree to that. It was most striking.
But then again, she is the more or less the foreigner character in the game too.
That's true. That's true. I out of all the characters, Dorothea was the one where it's like, okay, so you barely changed.
Correct.
I do like how in the trailer, and when you finally watch this, you will appreciate this. There was like you went through like, the first like 2 or 3, and then it got to Ferdinand. It was like a real build up for Ferdinand. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's like before it's just like revealed like his art for it, whatever. It's like real close up on his face, like a super build up on him specifically. I'm like, John will appreciate that.
I'll watch the trailer at some point.
I'm just glad they're saving the best for last, being the Golden Deer. That's what I'm ready to see how
Until we discover they added a 4th faction.
Ashen Wolves.
And that's not the Ashen Wolves
See,
because it's a different timeline.
Ashen Wolves can still be in the game. Don't be like that.
The fun twist is going to be that the Golden Deer aren't going to get a trailer.
That would break my heart.
I mean, Golden Deer's my team too. Would that be funny?
That would absolutely break my heart. They're going to get a trailer. Don't be like that.
It's just Claude.
Claude is all we need.
It's just Claude in all different classes.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I love all my deer, but Claude is the best character in that game, so I'm cool with it. Let's go. All right. Let's move over. Got a couple more topics to touch on here. The first one, this is a rumor, and I've been seeing this rumor pop up quite a bit recently from a lot of different sources that I follow, and I'm pretty excited for it if this is true. Is apparently there's a rumor for a Gears of War collection that is expected to have like the exact same level of treatment as the Master Chief collection, and it's rumored for this fall. So what that basically means is like you go in and you can play all of the multiplayers all into like one playlist essentially, or you can specifically choose Gears of War, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3. Now, from everything I've seen, it's pretty much the trilogy. That's all the rumors I've seen. I haven't seen anything talk about Judgment 4 or 5. It's pretty much just the original 3. Which that's cool because that was the golden age. So I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that. But if that happens, I would be very, very pumped for this. Once I started seeing some more steam kind of gather on this, it made me think back to my prediction of the Gears 6 announcement and release of the same year, whatever. And if this ends up happening, my new prediction is this will come out this fall as one of like their big fall titles, whatever. And then Gears of War 6 will be announced at E3 as well, like right after this, just for 2023 release. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. But I mean, I'd be very cool with this, for the Gears of War collection. So I already sent this over to Brady as well, because me and Brady, man, we would tear some shit up on whatever the doubles mode was called. Was it called Wingman? I think I don't remember. I don't know what it was about me and Brady, dude. There were some levels some maps we could not lose on. So I'm looking forward to this being a potential, because this is gonna be a pickup for me.
I don't know. I've played Gears of War exactly one time, and I did not have any fun with it.
That's so sad too.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you were there.
I'm pretty sure I was. I think I know what you're talking about.
It was just a late night run when we were hanging out at a friend's house one night to go pick up everybody's consoles to play it, and it played. What was it like? We were playing doubles against each other or something.
I think we were playing Wingman, then which led to a bunch of people teaming up to do campaigns because
the people that had never played before y'all put on teams with each other and just fucking annihilated us.
That's mean.
You put the people that played it all the time and like played together all the time, and you were like, okay, we're gonna be on a team, and then you two that have never played before are gonna be on a team. It's like, great, I was alive for 4 seconds this round.
And I'm assuming that, since that was the only time you play, that means you didn't do any of the campaign?
Hell no.
Okay. I will say, John, campaign is very good. And if you ever have any interest in it, I would be more than happy to play through the trilogy campaign with you, because it is a very good campaign. I know you guys are going to continue to doubt me. You're going to continue to doubt me. John, it's on Game Pass. We can hit it up that way, and we'll have a good time. You don't even have to fucking buy the game. They're all on Game Pass.
A lot of games on Game Pass.
Shut up.
I download a lot of them and don't play them.
John, we can play through the Gears trilogy together on PC. It'll be a great time. I promise. Great trilogy.
And we'll probably be able to cut from about 3 months from now when I've had it downloaded.
Correct.
And Alex will never have asked me to play.
I will download it today. How's that?
I probably won't.
I know you won't. You got Lost Ark to play. We actually, it's funny though. There is we still need to finish Halo 5 campaign at some point. Me, you, and Jared.
Do we really though?
That's actually a good question. I would
We
say
did not have fun while we were playing that.
that was a miserable experience. I mean, we were playing on Legendary. It's our first time playing Halo 5. We just immediately jump on Legendary, whatever. First time playing Halo in a while. But oh my God, that was an absolutely miserable experience. You know what? I think at the time we were kind of like, that's kind of irritating, whatever. Our time that day ended because Jared's, job at the time, he was supposed to be off, called him in. It's like, hey, you got to come in. You don't have a choice. And me and you were kind of irritated. It's like, oh, come on, man. It's like, you got the day off. Tell him to fuck off. Looking back on it, shout out to Jared's job because it saved us from that torture.
Okay, there's some games that it's like you play them on the hardest difficulty. It's hard and it takes a while, but you're having fun. We just weren't having fun.
That's fair.
The game just wasn't fun.
It was a rough experience. I am looking forward to playing Halo Infinite with you guys, though, whenever that finally fucking comes out.
I probably won't.
I probably won't either.
You're not gonna play the campaign,
No,
John?
I said it probably won't come.
Oh, okay. Well, I know.
I was saying I probably
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I know
He
you
would-
won't.
yeah,
I know
he said he
Jared
won't
is.
play. The
Yeah.
co-op won't come out.
Yeah, that's the question: is when the hell is the co-op going to come out? At this point, who knows, right?
For John, the same time Digimon survived us.
Look, Digimon Survive's coming out. You gotta get off this.
Okay, you're being sold by these screenshots.
Oh my God. I'm being sold by the release date.
And how many release dates have already?
I'm
pushed
being
back
sold by
year?
this release date. This is it.
You're being sold by things that change all the time.
That is true. It does.
Remember, there's some games that are set in stone that move.
Fuck off. Rip Starfield. Digimon Survive
thing
is
is-
coming out July 29th.
If the game comes out, I'll play it. I'm just not convinced.
And it's coming. They changed it where it's coming out on everything now, right? Because it was just PS4 and Nintendo Switch original. I think we talked about it coming out on Xbox and stuff too, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think it's coming out on everything now. I could be wrong though. I don't know what I'm gonna pick it up on. I haven't decided that yet.
Famicom.
Fuck off, Zach. What were you gonna pick it up on? Just your PlayStation?
Probably just PlayStation.
Gotcha. Fuck off, Zach. All right, let's move over to the next topic. Actually, the last one before we get into the weekly wrap up here. This really came out of fucking nowhere. Like legit, we've heard. I haven't personally heard any rumors about this at all involving EA looking to like merge or get purchased. I have heard zero. Like we joke about it. Everyone in the industry,
Yeah.
we all joke about it because it's EA. But I've heard nothing about it until there was just a random article that came out that apparently a deal between EA and NBCUniversal where they almost merged. The deal fell through just last month. And EA is still looking to be purchased or merged. I think merged is more so the way they're wanting to go, kind of like an Activision Blizzard sort of thing. But they've also had conversations with Apple, Amazon, and Disney. Like, bro, this we joke about this, but this came out of nowhere. Like this, the news dropped out of nowhere that the deal just fell through, and it also I saw some people chat about this as well, where it's a move like this potentially happening. Everyone's pointing back to like some interview Phil Spencer had, I think right after the Activision Blizzard news came out, right?
Okay.
Where he name dropped Amazon and Disney as future massive competitors in the gaming industry.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people are circling back to that now where it's just like, oh, so maybe this is what he was referring to.
Amazon still has it rough, so I'm still waiting on that.
Hey, now, hey, we're doing just fine over in Lost Ark right now, okay?
Don't shake your head. They're doing fine.
We're doing fine. We just got an update.
I mean, 1 for 3, track record's not great.
No, that is fair.
Right.
It's 2 for 3 that are still active.
Yeah, and there's people out there, not a lot of them, but they still play New World.
I mean, they do.
No, but that's why I specifically said Lost Ark. We're doing fine for now.
For now.
But what was you guys' initial thoughts at this when it popped out? And who do you think could be the one that's going to really step up to the plate to pick up EA? And I'm wondering why EA wants to be purchasing it. Because, I mean, like, while we meme on them, they do fine, honestly. Like, because their live service games, they do fine. So I was curious about this.
When I first heard this, all I could think was, EA than just freaking big head mode of all these different characters from these other companies.
Right.
That was my first initial thought. Just being honest.
I didn't really have much of a thought. I was like, I mean, they're looking to merge with someone. It's like maybe they've got some plan behind the scenes that we just haven't heard of yet. That they're like looking to get some bigger names in, or like bring some other, like if they merged with say like Disney, maybe they can bring in something Disney related into EA. But at this point, I don't have too much of an opinion on it because, like you said, they kind of do their own thing over there.
That is true. They do their own thing and they do fine. That's why I thought it was just like fascinating. It's like, oh, why are they wanting to be merged exactly? Like, there's something else about it. I feel like that would make them want to lead that.
I would assume there's some company thing going on there that only people who are in the know really know about it. I mean, if they merge, sure, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's a merge and not a purchase. And EA will continue to do their thing and just with a extra name attached.
Right. I guess that now leads to the question, what's going to happen first? EA merging with someone or Ubisoft being purchased?
I don't know. Can Ubisoft make loot boxes out of it?
Probably. I'd say of that, I mean, Ubisoft will probably end up getting purchased beforehand. Because
they're in a rough spot.
Because while EA kind of does their own thing, people get a little annoyed with EA too.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's like they do fine for themselves, but it's not the best name to attach yourself to.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like Ubisoft would probably be the one to be purchased first, just because of where they are as a company right now.
Yeah, that and well, Ubisoft doesn't have like the biggest hitters all the time. At least they're pretty consistent with what they're putting out.
And they know how to do live service as well.
That's true.
Yeah, they do their thing, but they do it. It's like they're one of the more consistent companies that they've got their formula and they're going to stick to it.
Right. Which also reminds me, I know I saw a recent article and it was like an interview talking about like the Sony Bungie move that happened. And it was just further detailing how Bungie, like, they're just going to be owned by Sony so they can, obviously work on, like, live service games for Sony and stuff. But, like Sony themselves are the ones that are still very much hammering, hey, we're going to leave Bungie alone. Like, they're going to get to go still be multi-plat, and they're still going to go do their thing. But, like, they mostly just wanted Bungie under the umbrella, just mostly to assist in the live service future that Sony's looking to do. But other than that, like, Sony is dead-ass adamant that Bungie can just continue to do whatever the fuck they want. So, I mean, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, that's a massive plus if they're just going to continue to let them just vibe and do their thing.
It'll be good for them.
Yeah. All right, boys. Let's hit up the weekly wrap-up here. Kind of run through here. If you guys got anything that you want to shout out whenever I'm done.
There is one thing I want to shout out. So I don't know how. So was there somebody, Saudi Arabia or something, invested in Nintendo of America this week or something?
It was the country.
Yeah, the country of Saudi Arabia invested in Nintendo America.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I actually forgot to add that to the script.
So they invested and got like 5% of shares in Nintendo America.
Yep.
And there was a joke article posted by Hard Drive about them claiming that now, since this investment has been made and they now own 5% shares, none of the female characters in Mario Kart will no longer be able to drive.
Oh,
I saw this article. I thought that's what you were getting to.
This article was,
Hard Drive is such a meme.
Hard Drive, this article is so well written because it goes on a whole thing of going, they're no longer able to drive, and people's like, before y'all have a backlash, we were already planning this ahead of time, things like that. Had a fake fan or player who's just like, yeah, and now you're also just going to take away their social rights and cover up their wrists and ankles and everything like that. And so an executive saying, hey, Saudi Arabia is investing in everyone. EA, Ubisoft, Microsoft, you can't make games now without blood money. Then it ends with a very harsh think of just really stuck in him going. And there was also this sudden cancellation of the upcoming Metroid Prime 4.
No. No. Man, that news got a lot of heat online. Just the
Saudi Arabia thing?
Yeah, that got a lot of heat. People were not happy about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's 5%. You know what I mean? Like, it's just 5%. They're still like, you know, Japan or whoever owns it. They still are the majority. I think what this basically does is I think it comes down to is that Saudi Arabia is just trying to get more games in their country.
Possibly.
That's the base thing that I saw. Is that was what people wanted to do. I saw some people replying to it that are from Saudi Arabia, where someone, you know, the initial comment was just like, you know, kind of like, oh, you know, why is people so upset about this, whatever, and someone responds like, because they think that we're still like living in the desert over here. It's like people still think that we like live in desert or some shit. It's like the guy's like, we live over here and we want games too, thank you.
It is sort of funny how people got up in arms on it just because Saudi Arabia invested in everyone. And, oh no, there's gonna be changes.
Yeah, exactly. No. They just want games too. That's all it is. Is like the gamers just like, hey, it's a fucking pain in the ass to have to ship in a game from another fucking country.
Yeah.
You know, all the time to play anything because they don't have like eShop support.
No.
So like, you know, this move happening, there can finally be a Nintendo eShop in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So that's the big thing about it. Like, I don't think the move's a huge deal personally.
I just like the thought of people who saw this just pictured some prince or something from Saudi Arabia just kicking open the door, Nintendo going, make me games. And on me just going on here, what's wrong with you people?
All right, let's hop into the weekly wrap up. If you guys think of anything else to shout out, just shout it out. So the first thing that I wanted to wrap up here is Witcher 3 next gen upgrade is confirmed for Q4 after its recent indefinite delay. Which you guys got to keep in mind with the indefinite delay. It's because CD Projekt Red was pulling that game, the upgrade for it, from a Russian studio that they no longer wanted to work with for obvious real world reasons. So them basically getting it from them, they just had to essentially figure out, all right, where did they leave off at? What do we have to do? So I guess the work wasn't too much far from being done. So Q4 is set to be released. And I will say, with that being the case, I might finally jump back to this game because I do own this game and I played probably about 5 or 6 hours and I didn't get super into it. But everyone just like Josh and Brady and other friends just continue to harp on me like, hey, dude, this game is incredible. You'll love it. I'm like, it was okay, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll try it again. When
Witcher's like Skyrim for some people.
Yeah, I think The Witcher 3 is considered by a lot of people to be one of the greatest RPGs of all time.
Yeah. Witcher 3 is at Skyrim level, and I mean, it's not for everyone. I'm going to be honest. I mean, Witcher 3 is a good game in its own right, but it's not for everyone. Just like Skyrim's not for everyone.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's just because you never played it. It is for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
Could be. All right. So next thing that we have here is apparently, you know, keep an eye on. May have some release dates coming soon. There was a new Sony blog post recently detailing accessibility options in God of War Ragnarok, and history shows whenever Sony puts these out, the release dates for these said games follow soon after. Because I know a lot of people have been worried about Ragnarok recently because of the slew of delays we've had where it's like, oh, I've seen a lot of memes where it's like, Ragnarok, you should better stay right there, talking about in 2022. I still think this game's coming out this year. Honestly, I think it's going to be a September range. I keep getting a gut feeling it's going to be September for God of War, but we'll see. Another one to be keep an eye on is Marvel's Midnight Suns. It did get rated in Korea. That usually kind of starts to lead to potential game release, dates coming out, kind of like when Digimon Survive got rated, and then we got a release date.
It got rated?
Whenever it got rated in Korea.
Did it?
Yeah, and then it, I plugged out in the show, and then John continued to say it wasn't coming out, and then like 3 weeks later, we got the release date. So, yeah, Marvel's Midnight Sun is still just slated for 2022 after the delay. So, keep an eye on that. May get some release dates here soon. Probably next month is probably what it'll be though. Digimon Survive's coming out, John.
You're the one who keeps saying it.
I'm gonna keep hammering that fact.
You can keep saying it all you want to.
I will.
I've already told you. If the game comes out, I'll play it. I just don't think it is.
You're still convinced there's not a game. that which I think is funny. All right, then the last thing I have here for the weekly wrap up is a bunch of new game announcements, just something to keep an eye out for. The first up, this is apparently going to be officially revealed on May 26th. Furiu is officially announcing a new RPG that is coming for Switch, PS4, and PS5. It's currently been labeled as Project Try Try. I saw this announcement like 8 months ago, but there was really no details on it. I remember the initial announcement was, oh, Project Try Try, a new RPG for the Switch and stuff. It has Xenoblade-like characters, and that was it, right? I was like, all right, whatever.
Cool.
Just popped back up in the news. Apparently, so here's the squad behind it, which catches a lot of eyes for people. Xenoblade character designer is on this game. Bravely Default 2 and Octopath Rider is on this game. Chrono Cross and Trials of Mana world designers on this game, plus other developers that worked on the Pokemon franchise. So for RPG fans, JRPG fans, that's a pretty loaded lineup, I feel like. So this is catching a lot of people's attention. So if you're a big JRPG fan, if any of those games I named you're a fan of, tune in to May 26th. Let's see what this game's all about. Another one that was recently announced was Techland is working on a new AAA action RPG set in a fantasy setting, being built to be fully next gen, and they've hired a bunch of devs from CD Projekt Red, Arcane, and Guerrilla Games to work on this project. This is very early in development. I mean, when they made the announcement, it was with job listings, like just fielding it out there, kind of like it was the God, what was the big remakes that was recently announced, like where Rockstar was publishing it? God, what was it?
Was it Max Payne?
Yes, Max Payne, where it's like, we just signed the contract. It was setting out the feeler, like, oh, hey, you want to come work on this? Kind of the same thing. I wanted to shout it out because like the initial art for it they showed looked really cool, and this is something that could catch some serious interest later on.
And that also already sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, you got a pretty good developer on it. Got some good devs from some pretty notable franchises. Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk devs were name dropped. Of course, Guerrilla's Horizon, so that's a good lineup there. Arcane's got a pretty good history. So this is something to keep an eye on. We'll follow back up on this. Greedfall 2, The Dying World was announced. Greedfall has a fucking cult following.
Greedfall was good.
Yeah, I tried it. I played about probably 2 or 3 hours of it. This was before it got the enhancement patch.
Yeah.
So I may go back and try this one again because it is on Game Pass, and I think the Game Pass version, I think it's the enhancement version.
It is.
So I may hop back on this and try it since it has been enhanced. I felt like it was a little clunky, which is like the common complaint people had with the game. But at the same time, it's like a really ambitious project from a not huge studio. So it's like the main thing people rave is like, the characters are great, character interactions are great. Like if you're a Dragon Age or Mass Effect fan, you'll love this game. That was how it was recommended to me from a couple friends who are other Mass Effect fans that I'm friends with. They recommended this game to me, and it just I give them massive props for the smaller studio making the game they did. But now that it did get the enhancement, I may try to hop back into this and see how it is for me. Because I feel like Greedfall 2 is just going to be I feel like it has the potential to be here's Assassin's Creed, solid concept, kind of a mad game, and then Assassin's Creed 2 is just leaps above. You know what I mean? So I feel like this could be the same thing. And lastly, Norman Reed has recently revealed in an interview that he is working on Death Stranding 2. That got a lot of people talking this week. So a second Death Stranding set to come out. Not really surprised by that. Won a lot of rewards. It's Kojima. It's going to get a lot of sales because of that alone. His name's going to be on it. I mean, I'll honestly probably finally try Death Stranding since I'll have access to it. Because look, I can play it for free. I'll have the PlayStation Plus premium tier, extra tier. I'll have access to Director's Cut. I'll play the Delivery Man Simulator and see how it is.
Go drop kick some robots.
I will do that. Did you guys have anything you want to throw in for the weekly wrap up? Any Lost Ark stuff you want to chat about? Anything on your side, Zach? Anything we want to throw into the weekly wrap up here?
Multiverses is fun. Everyone should play it when it comes out in open beta.
Yeah, support the game. Cool. Yeah, you're playing it right now.
Yeah, I'll probably give that a shot. Because you sent me that code, I'll probably give that a shot.
Yes.
Here in a little bit.
I mean, it's cross-platform. We can team up.
Go wreck some shit.
But yeah, I mean, this week we got our May update for Lost Ark. Got the Destroyer class, new Legion raid, Vulcan, which I've been checking the forum posts for it, and people seem to be fucking loving the new raid. I was reading posts about people who were doing like 12-hour polls of it,
Damn.
trying to beat it, because it's apparently a massive step up from anything that we have so far. But people seem to be loving it. People seem to be enjoying the new destroyer class, and we've got another event going on right now that is, I guess it's phrased as like the after party for essentially the little Mario Kart event we had a couple months ago, where I mean you go to an island every hour and play a song a few times for the first one, and then you fight a big chicken as a chicken. But
So y'all are having cockfights?
pretty much,
Okay.
yeah, you get to transform into either a chicken and attack it, or you get to transform into a glass of beer and attack it.
And then y'all were racing Mario Karts the last month?
Yeah, the last event we had was like an event Guardian raid where you fought 3 of them at once and got like a stacking damage buff on it. But the one before it was basically like, it was kind of like a little Mario Kart race in a sense, where you got transformed into these little animals and ran around a track, but like you could drop bombs and stuff and then shoot like a missile to stun people.
What the hell?
People liked that event a lot more than the Guardian raid one, I think. Or a lot of people did, because it didn't take as long as the Guardian raid, and it was just pretty straightforward to do. Whereas the Guardian raid, I mean, if everything went well, I mean, you could finish in under 5 minutes, but it took longer to be able to buy out the shop than the racing event. And then this one, you can do it like every hour on alts, and pretty much buy out the shop in a day. So it makes it nice for being able to get everything.
Alrighty.
You got anything else?
No.
I guess the only thing I have is my retro hunting. I had quite the haul this week.
You don't get to make fun of him anymore.
Listen.
Yes.
I'm locking that in at the top.
This was a whole path. I started back in Thanksgiving
You
and started retro hunting, and we've come full circle half a year later.
Listen, the only thing that I'm going to continue to hammer is Zach, you're addicted. And I'm going to continue to
You
hammer.
spent more money than me this week.
Listen, I want to, and that's exactly why I'm going to continue to hammer this, because now I'm addicted. So I can confirm it's an addiction.
I mean, it's not an addiction, man.
Definitely
I
an
have
addiction.
control of when I spend.
I mean, in terms of spending, yes, you have more control than me. That is very, very true. But it's still an addiction. I mean, you cycle between like the hunt is the addiction. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the spending part. I'm definitely addicted to the spending part. But the hunt, that's the addiction.
He can walk into a store and see something and walk out.
That's
Apparently,
true.
you can't.
Look, that GameCube one, that one fucked me, bro. Man,
Here's the thing. I also do the smarter choice. When I see something, I'm just like, I can't pass this up. I don't go, I'm going to pay full price. I go, I'm going to lay away this bitch.
Well, whenever you lay away something, it's usually like a single game that's like superly expensive, though, like something super rare. At least the times I've heard you lay away something, it's like the really rare ones, right?
That are usually complete in box, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the finds that I had that was so much was just walk into a game exchange, right? And it's just like shout out to that game exchange, because they had like 10 pretty rare GameCube games just all lined up there, and now 5 of them are immediately. Or
You could have laid away all of them all at once.
I was just like, no, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm a bite the bullet kind of guy when it comes to paying for something. Where I was like, I just want to get it over with. Like that's just the person I am when it comes to paying bills or whatever. It's just like, just get it over with, you know. If I can. If I can't, then yeah, we'll lay away it or make a payment or something. But if I can just go ahead and just fucking bite the bullet and get it done, that's the mentality that I am. And that's how I was here. I walk in, I see Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, Mario Strikers, Mario Baseball, Double Dash, and Phantasy Star Online 3, and they were all complete in box and all cheaper than what they are online. I'm like, I can't walk out without these 5, so fuck me, fuck my life. But hey, here we are. He's still addicted, though, because now I'm addicted. I can confirm that the hunt is an addiction.
Just because you got addicted to it doesn't mean he is.
He's addicted. You're addicted to the hunt.
Not really.
I'm not saying you're addicted to the spending. That's me.
You're just trying to justify your addiction.
I'm trying to confirm that it's an addiction.
You're the worst kind of addict.
I'm just confirming to everyone that the hunt is an addiction. Once you get pulled in, it's tough to get pulled yourself back out. Here we are. All right. Well, I'm good to hit the music. You guys feeling good? Ready to go?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Last thoughts, boys.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you're watching this on YouTube, want to hit that subscribe to help us out build YouTube, that would be fantastic. Then you could also hit that bell to notify you whenever we post anything, like whenever we do our second episode of Spark Park and that show. Thanks.
And do everything he said and more. And if you made it to the end, thank you very much. And hopefully you'll come back and see us again next week.
Yep, do everything that both the boys said. We definitely appreciate that. Go sign up to the website, sparky3.com. You can sign up for free or sign up $5 a month. Get early access podcast episodes. Go check out the merch store, sparky3shop.com. Promo code ANNIV for 25% off to celebrate 2 years of Sparky 3. Join the Discord, link down in the description below. Go follow us over at Twitter at GameStaticPod, as well as check out the other shows like Animan Plus, a terrible football show talking about movies and stuff, and of course Spark Park, your one-stop shop for BS and nonsense. We'll be back next week. We'll see what we got on the slate. We'll see if we got some decent shit pop out this week, or if we might tackle some sort of bullshit topic. I don't know. We'll see. It's the final episode of May before we get into June, which is going to be a very hype month. We got a lot of good stuff happening next month, so get excited for that. I think the music's about to end, isn't it? Yep. All right, well, give it a sec. Let me build it back up, and then we can give it a proper ending, proper send-off. Hopefully everyone has a great day, whatever day you're listening. All right, man. Bye.